My name is Marcos Martinez. And I'm Associate R&D Director for the Dow Chemical Company. I started as what they call a run plant engineer. My job was to make sure that the plant I was assigned to was running efficiently and well. About 10 years into my career, I had the opportunity to move into research and development, and then eventually took a managerial position up until my spot now of Associate R&D Director. When I was considering the Bauer MBA program, I had started and I had been looking for a long time before I decided to apply. I didn't feel like early on it was the right time with my kids being young, and I had a lot of activities related to them that I just didn't want to miss. I think that I'm already starting to see some of the gains, and now I see a bigger picture of how the business and industry works. My classmates, they come from a lot of different areas. They're not just engineering background like I had in undergrad. They come from from finance, from IT, and from a number of even public service type of industries. So I'm learning a lot from them. So on March 3rd, 1998, I was called in late at night. At that time, I was the run plant engineer, and the engineer on call. There was a problem at the plant. I'll spare a lot of the technical details, but several hours later, I was walking into a building, into a warehouse, and that I was in the middle of that building, and it exploded. Myself and my colleague were in there. We were both very severely burned. For me, it was about 60% of my body was third-degree burns. I spent the next 3 months in the burn unit in Galveston. I spent 6 months before I could regain the use of my hands, and I spent about a year before I could return back to work. I came back the following year, and I requested actually to go. I had a lot of questions in my mind as to whether or not I could or should be doing this and going back. So I requested to go back to the same plant in the same office if I could, and I knew if I could get past that, then I would be able to make it from there. So going back and seeing the old charred remains of the building that were around, that was probably the hardest thing I've done in my career for sure. My heart was racing, and wasn't quite sure. And then I walked in that day, and I was greeted by a bunch of my coworkers and friends, and I started to relax and calm down, and then I knew I'd be able to move on from there.